opportunity to be able to take your signs as like off the fencing, but I was once again your prerogative. Like, they want you to be able to, have those as.
When is the fencing coming down?
So it sounds like it'll take some time between 3 days, right? So they just wanted to give you a couple days notice to be able to do that. So
the fencing is coming down in the next 3 days?
Yeah.
So we're still not, we don't have access to.
Right, they'll start from the other side. Like, remember how many days it took to come up, right? It's a reasonable expectation that from the very far side of the property, they'll start loading it up, and then this will be the last one.
Are we allowed? Can't they give us like maybe an hour in there where everything happens? You can have a car.
Not at this moment, right? It's still very much a hot zone, right? They're still going through. They have to go.
Can you get them to like escort me in, and I'll climb up on the ladder and take shit down?
I don't get to decide when
it's a hot zone, but they can take the hay out of the hot zone.
But that's what they're doing. So they are dealing with.
You guys are driving on the hay. You're driving on the hay, and then you're going to burn it.
We watched the trucks all night roll in, and
your hot zone.
Let's stop pretending, bro. Let's just stop pretending.
There's no hot zone.
We all know it.
There's no hot zones. There's no virus. There's no hot zones. There's no virus. There's no virulence.
They killed them in civilian clothes.
But that's not decisions that the LT
I know it's not decisions, but let's just
right. Have you gotten a message today from CFIA?
Messages?
No, just curious. Like,
one of their 40 emails. I don't know. You mean, how about the one that they said that we couldn't go and pray over our animals because they're scared for their safety, even though they have 100 of you here? What do we have? What do we have? What do we have?
These are justifiable actions.
No, they're scared for their safety, Kevin. They're scared for their safety.
We've talked about this, right? Like, I'm trying to let you know that you have an opportunity to be able to remove your signs.
Thank you for letting us know we can remove our signs.
Yeah. I want you to
You
have
asked me a question. You said, do we have any correspondence back yet? No, they're scared for their safety, so we couldn't pray over our animals that we've had in our life for 35 years.
They've called the birds. They've removed the birds. It's time for them to get the fuck out of here.
And that's what they're trying to do, and that's what they're giving you the opportunity to be able to do.
Sounds good. I don't know I know your goals are to keep the peace. There's no peace. You have destroyed our family, and you were an accomplice to it. You guys are accomplices to it. And I don't know how many more families and lives you're going to ruin and how many more animals you're going to be part of destroying, but I hope that this time changes your life forever. Forever! Because it's changed our life for fucking ever! Ever!
And where was victim services yesterday, or the night that these guns were going off?
Oh my God. Absolutely brutal.
I'm driving up the goddamn road to sleep in the tent. Left him on the I'm sorry, you're going to hear me? No, you're going to listen to me right now.
I am, but you're getting
No, you're going to listen to me right now. I'll step back, and you're going to listen to me. Those people stood on the side of the freaking highway because you said it was too unsafe to let them in here, and you made them sit there and listen to 900 rounds of gunshots. Listen to me. Listen to these words, and you go let them know that. You let them know that. You let them know that. You left them on the side of the highway, and you were more concerned about not letting them in here than having people here to take care of people, listening to gunshots go off, listening to a war zone, listening to animals screech and cry. Where's the accountability? You come here and you say, oh, we want to extend an olive branch of signs? You can take your signs off the blue fence? Where the hell is victim services? You want to help people? Where are people here to talk about the slaughter that you're gonna? You know what? I'm pissed off because you know what? I've been cordial to you guys for months, and I've been respectful, and I've cooperated, and I've kept the peace.
Yeah.
And enough is enough. Don't come here with your bullshit olive branches anymore.
No.
Come here with real shit.
Real.
And what does that look like?
Real shit is accountability. Where is the concern about the well-being for this family?
Your wellness checks? Well, guess what?
You here, I appreciate that.
You
know what? Where the hell is everyone?
Yeah, you want to know how well we're doing now? Do you want a wellness check now? Do you want to know how many wellness checks you've done? You fucked our life over. You've ruined our life. Which is there's your wellness check. You've ruined us. Is that good? Yeah. You go to bed at night. The gunshots. Were you here for those? Did you hear those pops all night? Did you hear the life being taken? Quit your job. Does this mean, what does this mean to you? What does this mean to you? If I had this job, I'd fucking strip my clothes down and get fucking naked right now. I would get naked right now. And I would fucking lose my shit. I would never. This isn't worth it. What is this worth? What is this worth? Is this Canada? Is this Canada? Go take a stand for your country. Go take a stand. Go take a new oath to your country. An oath that will have meaning.
Kevin, when I
You're on the
asked you
wrong
at the end
side.
of that road,
You're on the wrong side of history.
when I asked you at the end of that road, and I said, why aren't you letting these people in? You said it's public safety. And I asked you, I specifically asked you, how is it public safety to leave those people on the side of the highway in the middle of the night while a slaughter is going on? And what was your response to me? What was your response? Tell these people right here what you said to me.
That both could be true.
No, what did you say to me?
Exactly that.
No.
Both can be true.
Tell these people what you said, or I will.
Go ahead.
You said, do you want me to go arrest them?
No.
Yes, it was. Do not call me a liar. You said, do you want me to go arrest them? Do not lie. Do not lie, sir. Do not lie. You said, do you want me to go arrest them? That was your response, and what did I say? I said, I'm disappointed in you, Kevin, and I walked away. That's exactly how that ended. You said, do you want me to go arrest them? What do you want me to do? Go arrest them. That was your response.
No, that is not.
You were a liar. Now you are a liar, and whatever little respect I had for you is gone. Because now you're standing here lying in front of all these people.
Well, say you're a liar.
Own your words at the least.
Calling you a liar.
You are straight up a liar, sir. No. You said, do you want me to go arrest them? You were standing there, Anthony. You heard him too. You're a man of your word. You heard what he said. And you're going to stand here and call me a liar and say you didn't say that, Kevin? Own your shit. Own your shit at the least. You said you want me to go arrest them. What kind of compassion is that?
No. You asked me whether or not it was dangerous to be there, and I said both are true.
And then you said, what do you want me to do? Arrest them. Is exactly what you said.
We don't want to do that, is what I said.
That doesn't even make sense.
I know,
So
and I mean, like,
that's what we said.
Your point was that
I didn't
we
say go
want-
arrest them. You said,
No.
what do you want me to do? Go arrest them is exactly what you said.
We didn't want to arrest them.
You said, what do you want me to do?
Why would I do that?
yeah, good question.
You guys
Can we get
have
victim
no-
services?
I'm sorry, sir, should not be leader of a PLT on last day final of this. They failed, and I appreciate you're a good man, but you are not set up for this role. Victim services should be here. You guys should be out. You are not doing any good for this family. You are not doing any good for these people. You are wasting taxpayers' money right now. Go away. You called the animals. They're dead. We don't need you. Leave.
Your,
Get out. Leave.
your female PLT officer yesterday
All of you,
also
leave.
spent a good time
The call
provoking
is
me.
over. The animals
Like-
are dead. They hauled them away. Leave.
Traumatizing.
There's nothing left to there's nothing left to obstruct, sir. There's nothing left to obstruct.
What are you guarding now?
What are you guarding?
Nothing.
Leave. There's nothing left. You hauled them away. They're dead. Just leave.
They're hiding the lives back there.
Oh, no. They want the cushy job. They get to sit on their asses and protect the public.
Everything has been
From nothing.
Everything has been so peaceful until you allowed all those gunshots to ring out here. War.
You were part of it.
You brought
This
war.
disgusting Canadian first.
You brought
You
war
were
to
all
an
part of it.
innocent family.
All of you were part of this disgusting Canadian
on
first.
you.
You
Now
allowed.
it's time to
You
drive
allowed
away
war.
and give these people
You allowed. You brought war here before Remembrance Day. Right before Remembrance Day, you brought war to an innocent family
Go home.
in the middle of nowhere.
Holy
How
shit.
about all
In the middle of nowhere.
What did veterans, what did we fight for with this government? What did we fight for Canada for you guys to do this to a family, right? Well done before Remembrance Day to show that the sacrifices of the 158 that died in Afghanistan was for nothing because you fucks are taking over the farm, you're harassing the family, you're suppressing the people, you're no good, right? Just leave. Right?
Phoenix,
And,
can I go?
thank you for your service. Thank you for fucking suppressing the people and only being bullies, right? End gang life. How about we end the RCMP? That's what we should end. Because that's all you are, is a gang, right? Here harassing the family. It's over and you're still here, right? You're still here harassing with all these fucking cars, and the only person that ever crossed your line was to throw food at the fucking ostriches that weren't being fed, right? That's the only people, but you got all the cars, you got the drones, you got the jammers, you got everything. Here we are for Remembrance Day, and we're showing what the fucking freedoms, what those soldiers died for was nothing, because you're taking away all our fucking freedoms.
My
right?
uncle died at 21 over Norway for you assholes.
Right? All of this before Remembrance Day to show what we fucking fought for was for nothing, so that a government can come in. Don't bother with the rules. No rules apply to the RCMP or the CFIA. It only applies to the family that you're fucking suppressing, right? That's the only thing, right?
And leaving people on the side of the highway in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Well, 900 rounds went off.
Yeah.
150 feet
Public
from the
fucking
vehicle.
safety.
I said that was in the name of public safety.
Right?
Does that even make sense to you?
Public safety. Leave all the
crazy.
people out on the
appreciate
highway that can't come in, but not on the gravel road where the traffic's not doing 100, right?
At the least,
That's public safety. That's called suppressing the family. That's called, you know what? We're gonna fucking put it in your face,
Watch it.
right? We're gonna rub it in your face. We're gonna make you hear. We're not gonna shield you from the fucking sounds of the gunfire. We're gonna fucking lock you guys out on the highway so you can listen to it, and then be traumatized, and then don't bother bringing your fucking victim services in, because you only bring it in when you want to look good, right? Or try to catch something, right? I fucking serve for nothing, and when I find my medals, I'll come give them back to you, because they were for nothing. For nothing. 28 years of service to the fucking government, and this is what fucking it gets, right? The RCMP comes and harasses,
We
bullies.
played by the rules. We played
And-
by the rules the whole way
and
through.
you play by
And
your
the
own
fact that we're
rules,
standing
and
here
nothing-
today
no rules
says that
apply.
we played by the rules.
A
We
family-
showed that respect to this side. Just remember that in the end. These people who were losing everything showed respect to this side, to the bitter end.
But you got
And in
none.
that moment, it was a turn your back, lock everybody out, fuck you all,
Yeah.
and suffer. Listen and suffer.
Holy shit.
Sorry. You want us to respect. You want us to have...
Or would you like to inflict more suffering on them? The first one. Would you?
Hey, tell Ben to go have a beer for me at the Legion, right?
Oh, yeah,
Because he
we
had
had
my
it.
Thanksgiving dinner, your PLT, right?
It doesn't matter that this happened because the world knows and it's watching and it's paying attention and it's going to remember. And this isn't over today. This isn't over tomorrow. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And no one is going to forget this moment of history.
Nobody
No
forget,
one will
man.
forget this. This
We
is
all know
another
where the
Canadian
RCMP
fork in
stand.
the road that we should not be going down as a society.
They are here.
This is not the Canada you grew up in, my dear. It's not the one that my mom grew up in. I know because I hear the stories. Or your father, or any of your parents. Guess what? And now we're the parents. We're all the parents now with little ones. And look at the world that is being built for our kids. This is the world we're building for our future. And we should be ashamed of that. We should be disgusted no matter what we are, no matter what ideology, religion, skin color, job, position. We should all be ashamed of this right now because this represents every single one of us in this society, in this country. This represents what we are as a society, as a whole. Even me, even the guy standing on the other side of the fence, I have to reconcile with the fact that this represents the country. That is me, that is us, that is you.
An upside down flag.
And it doesn't have to be this way.
Canada has fallen.
Gunned down
And the
in the middle of the
RCMP
night
enabled
in
it.
fear and trauma.
What do you think about Peter Down?
Why doesn't one of you get out of the car? Come over and give me a hug and say, I feel you, brother. I hear you.
Children.
I'm not your enemy. I may be yelling at you, but I'm certainly not your enemy. I'm trying to wake you up.
Help the animals. He's a staff. You feel so good about it, fighting to bring your own
This poor man here, hostage on his own goddamn property. Look at what they did to his yard. It's a freaking disaster zone there. It looks like a derby track in a farmer's field. Not only because you had to make roads, because the guys they hired to come in couldn't even stay on the road, so they ripped up his whole field. They ripped up his garden. He couldn't pick his garlic. His family's held hostage. Why? Because they're neighbors?
Do you know that CFIA claims that they killed these animals humanely? Do you know that that's what they're posting? Bring it on. Bring it on. They were not killed humanely. They were not killed viciously. They ripped our family apart a few nights ago in the middle of the night. They ripped our family apart. They ripped our family apart. They trusted us. They were dancing. Do you know our rooster was dancing? Getting pushed into the kill pen, dancing because he trusted them. And then he was gunned down in the middle of the night in the rain. Do you know CFIA had to come back in the morning to shoot the ones that were still left alive? With all of their brothers and sisters laying around them. It's pain. There's no recovering from this. 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 There's no recovering from this.
You know, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago now, you know Dennis. He's a really awesome member of the RCMP. You guys don't send him here anymore. He got sent away. Me and him took a picture hugging in front of that bench right there. Because that is what we want to create in this world. That's what we want to create in this country. Not this division where that machine keeps turning you guys and us against each other in the end.
That's because they serve two masters.
That
the
machine
evil.
wants you guys to be the brunt of the brute. Wants me to be mad at you because of what they're doing. And I know it's not you, and I know it's not you or you or you or you. We know that. We're not dumb. We get it. We know. But we need your help to set the example that it's not us, that it's them. And it's okay to do that. It's okay to say, we're not that. We're doing our job. We get you're doing your job. But it's okay to draw the line in the sand and say, we're not that. There's nothing wrong with that. That's not what your oath was. There's no way in hell you guys went to that academy, took that oath proudly to figure one day I was going to be defending the CFIA killing 350 healthy ostriches 10 months after a call order was put into place. Because a policy says so. Because a broken policy by a broken government says so. That is why we are all here today. Because a system that won't acknowledge a policy that doesn't work, that says because the policy said so, we will kill. Well, when is it us? When is it my disabled son? Or our elderly parents?
Elderly parents.
Look at the MAID program in our country. California has a similar population to Canada. Yet in Canada, we kill 10 times more humans a year than the state of California in the name of the MAID program.
906 people took MAID in the Vancouver Island Health Authority last year. This year, my uncle at 101 years old took it because he didn't want to be a burden on his family. And he was living in his own home, had a dog, and got around on his scooter, but the idea that he may not be able to do that and become a burden, because that's all that's ever told. You're going to be a burden. There's no room in extended care. There's no room in complex care. So would you like to? MAID is an option. So he took that, and he was able to talk about 90 years ago what was going on. He has mind. He remembered everything from being a child. He was 101 years old in September. That's disgusting. He should have been valued. Valued. Not something too much for society to look after.
They're just drinking the juice.
Society where life is not valued. And
That's
those
the point right
ostriches
there.
were not a fucking chicken. Some of those ostriches grew up with adults that live on this farm. I know there was a story of one who protected the boy every time he went in there from all the other ostriches, and they had a relationship. I had a relationship with, and I haven't even been here 2 weeks, and I had a relationship with some of those ostriches. I would go to the fence and they would hang out with me, and I don't know, it's sad that you didn't get to experience that, if you didn't get to experience it, because you took beautiful lives. You were complicit in this. You allowed it to happen.
The
You
point
took
is, when do we-
beautiful, long-lived lives that had many, many more decades to live. And you destroyed this family, and you traumatized millions of people around the world. It was trauma. I talked to an RCMP down there who said he had to roll up his window and crank the music because he just couldn't stand listening to it. That's disgusting. Instead of not standing listening to it, he should have said, "Fucking enough, I'm out of here. I will not stand for this shit."
Don't get it wrong. If their boss told them right now to take a gun out and shoot you, they would shoot you on the spot.
Well, let's hope not.
They have no God.
Let's hope we're not that far gone. Let's hope we're not
Oh,
that
I don't
far
know
gone.
about that.
The point of the matter is, when did we become a society that doesn't value life anymore? That's a dangerous place to be as human beings. When we disregard the value of life, whether it be animals, humans, whatever it is. When we start teaching our future generations that, you know, there is no value in health. There is no value in people when they no longer are useful to the system, when they cannot contribute by paying taxes, or when they cannot be a functioning member, where they cost us something. We're getting to the point where we disregard that. We're getting to the point where we normalize killing healthy animals. Why? Because the policy says we better do it. And as long as the policy says so, then it's okay. It's okay, right? Because if the system says so, if the law says so, it must be true. It must be good. But it's not all good. Not all policy, not all law makes sense anymore. And it never did. And I'm sorry to you, and to you, and to you, and to you, and to you, that our government is abusing the RCMP right now. The CFIA is abusing the RCMP by utilizing an entity that was just and true, that was built to serve and protect, using that entity to protect a broken policy killing healthy animals. That's really what it comes down to. Every one of your communities could use your service in their communities right now. You know that, you all know that. Every one of your communities could use you back at home right now. Every one of your communities. We all know that. I live in the North Okanagan. I know we could use all our officers every day. Every one of our communities across this country needs our officers to serve and protect the communities, not to defend against broken government policy. We are not a militarized country. Do not get to the point where you see what you are get turned into an entity, an arm, that is not what it's supposed to represent. You're not a tool. You're not a tool for the government. That was never what it was supposed to be. Ever. You are not a tool of the government. And I know you hear me right now. And that is why I'm angry. Because I know you all know. And I appreciate you listening to me. And I appreciate you hearing me.
We had one guy go down over here. One of our supporters died here on Monday. We had victim service. They come out to counsel all of us. We had 300 and some lives lost. Night before last, haven't seen one bit of support for this side. Not one.
I asked Kevin, I said, when have you ever, any of you, ever been involved in a situation where we stood guard and listened to 900 rounds go off in the middle of the night like that? That was the most unnormal, unnatural thing that has probably ever happened on Canadian soil. Questionably, one of the most diabolical, twisted things. That you don't do that in the middle of it. This isn't 1944 Nazi Germany. This isn't Auschwitz. And that's exactly what it felt like that night. It felt like the scene in Schindler's List when they were clearing out the ghetto in the middle of the night. And I hate to be morbid, but that's exactly what it reminded me of. I stood on that scaffold, and I'm a strong son of a bitch. I can take a lot. And it bothered me. It darn near broke me listening to that. Because I knew, not the sound of the gunshots, but I knew what those gunshots meant as they went off. Every time I heard one of those shots, I knew what it meant. And 900 shots to kill 300 and change ostriches tells me those ostriches weren't humanely killed. And then the shots that went off 9 in the morning the next day, 8 in the morning, when we very well know they were going through, killing the ones they accidentally didn't finish off the night before. What is humane about that? That means those birds lied there all night and suffered until daylight until they got finished off. There is nothing humane about what happened that night. And you know what? The policy said humane. The policy said to be treated humane in life and in death. Isn't that a violation of that policy, in your opinion? If they were not killed humanely, is that not a violation of the law that you are here to protect? That same policy that stops me from obstructing that fence is the same policy that says those animals are entitled to a humane life and a humane departure from this earth. But nobody seems to recognize that part. Or it seems to think that that doesn't matter, that isn't supposed to be dealt with or accounted for. And I just don't get that. Hope you all go back and talk about this privately amongst yourself. And I hope you advocate within your unions that in the future the RCMP is not used for these purposes anymore. And I will advocate for you as a citizen of this country that your RCMP is not abused in this way by this country anymore. And that young lady, wherever she is, Katie, I don't know where she is right now, she's going to do that for you too. That's what we're going to do with our life. We're going to fight for you and us and your children and our children so that we don't have to be in this situation in the future. So that my kids don't question me and say, Dad, why would the cops be there? Why are the cops involved? Why would the cops be defending this? You know, I was that little boy who was like, I want to be a cop when I grow up. Straight up, when I was a little boy, I wanted to be a cop. I'm not lying. I thought that would be the most amazing thing. The guy up the road, he was a cop, and he used to let me sit in his car, and I'm not going to admit my dad was a little rough around the edges, kind of the opposite of what a cop would be maybe. But that cop, he was really cool, and he knew me. And he'd let me sit in his car, and he'd tell me his stories, and they'd come to our school, and we'd seen all the good things that happened in our community. I never seen the stuff that I seen as a grown man in this country. I didn't see stuff like this. Don't we want our kids to grow up and want to be you still? Like, don't we want our kids to say, when I grow up, I want to be an officer of the law? That same oath that you took whenever you took it. I don't know when that was, but that oath, what it meant, does not mean this. I read that oath. I read that oath thoroughly. And while it says follow orders, I get it. It certainly doesn't talk about anything like this. And when that oath was institutionalized, this didn't even exist, this kind of stuff. These kind of policies, they weren't even invented yet. So they invented these policies along the way, and then they put it in your bag and said, this is your responsibility, RCMP. We're making this your problem. Not that you don't already have enough things to worry about in society with the drug problems and the theft problems and the domestic dispute problems and the abuse problems and all the things that plague us as a society. Now this is where our priority lies. Hundreds of officers, millions of dollars, of your tax dollars, of my tax dollars, their tax dollars. If we don't start talking about this, if we don't be loud about it, this will continue on for another generation. And we'll create another broken generation of people that are divided, that see the good guys as the bad guys, and the bad guys as the good guys. It doesn't have to be this way. We can set an example together. We could give our kids something to grab onto and say, hey, wow, there is still hope. That's what we could do together.
Because they know these birds are fine. These birds have been fine for almost a year. The whole thing is public health theater. They're spreading the ostrich hay around because they know, as you and I know, there's nothing actually wrong with the ostriches. The whole thing was a Potemkin village. There it is. Look at that. If this really was the public health crisis, that vehicle would have been hosed down before it left the kill zone. They're alive. Never forget.
Like, why do we even need this?
You want back on?
Good job, Melissa.
The spokesman refuses to talk to me, so I'm going to put some questions to you, okay? And feel free to answer any of the ones that you feel comfortable with. Can I ask you, who did the shooting? How many people did the shooting, and where did they come from? Were they police? Were they from the local gun club? Were they military? Do you know who did the shooting? Pardon me? What's that? Oh, I'd be extremely grateful if you would. She just said she's going to get the team leader to talk to me. Thank you very much. I would love to talk to the team leader. Wow, I did not expect that reply because I just heard from the police liaison team that the spokesman, who I think his name is Chris Clark, refuses to talk to me even on speakerphone. So I would love to talk to the team leader. Thank you very much, officer. I got a question for you. Do you think the team leader is actually going to talk to me?
Oh, she's got chevrons.
She's getting the team leader right now. She says she's getting the team leader right now to come answer some
The staff
questions.
sergeant came in his truck earlier, and he came up to me and he's like, "Oh, what do you need me to do to make your video better?" And then he started antagonizing, like 4 chevrons. I think that's the staff's 4 chevrons. So I mean, a senior NCO, a person in a leadership position, came in today, and after the 2 incidents I had with the female PLT officer, who I don't want to judge, but I'm pretty sure she was being antagonistic.
Oh, it sure looked that way. I saw that video. That was a great video, Chris. Well, I'm surprised that she didn't just roll up her window right away, but I'm a bit of a pessimist after everything that's happened here, Chris, and I don't think the team leader's going to talk to me. That's okay. I'm going to ask my questions nonetheless. I know you would too.
Yeah.
All right, well, we'll wait a bit. If I was a betting man, I would bet that the team leader will not present, and if he does, it'll just be to say, I got nothing to say to you.
Well, did the staff sergeant not speak to you the first time? I think you were one of the only people. It was right here, I believe, before I got here.
Yeah, and I thought it was actually a very fair interview. I asked questions that I thought were real. They weren't attack questions. And I thought he answered probably half of them pretty well.
Well, those were the only answers that I've seen anyone give about anything really on the record.
Yeah, and I was saying to one of the police liaison officers, I said, look, in darkness, theories and conspiracy theories flourish.
It breeds paranoia.
Well, yeah, and especially if you expect transparency from your police. A shocking international incident happened here yesterday, and there are legitimate questions in the public interest. And the idea that the cops would talk to me quite candidly a few weeks ago, but today after the massacre they won't talk to me, is upside down. And I think it's part of a new strategy of provocation that I've seen them deploy against different people here. We'll see. She said she's going to get the team leader. I'm a skeptic, but I'm willing to wait.
I mean, that pattern of provocation is something like I kind of was born of the convoy, for lack of something better. And I've been watching this style of provocation ever since. At the convoy, they went after people that were...
Any luck?
Oh, Chris Clark.
Yeah, he's back in Surrey. Okay, so the team leader refused to come? Would Chris Clark in Surrey know what the team leader just said to you? What did the team leader say?
Does it apply to you?
All right, I'm going to continue reading my questions if you don't mind. Oh, you're rolling up the window. You're bravely rolling up the window. I knew it. I knew it. Are they all rolling up their windows?
The back window is down.
Oh my God! What? She rolled up her window. That's so symbolic. I'm going to ask my questions nonetheless. Sid Fizard, by the way, from Rebel News is here, along with Drea. So, Sid, thanks for filming these. I'm going to ask these questions I would ask them to the cops, but they bravely rolled up their windows. They bravely are hiding. The brave RCMP has bravely rolled up their windows. All right, so let's read some questions that I think are in the public interest, and you, Sid, tell me what you think. First question that I already put is, who did the shooting? I think that's relevant. Did they have the requisite licenses? Were they trained? Were they trained in killing animals? I mean, that's a very rare skill. It's not something that's done all the time. Were they military? Were they RCMP? And what firearms did they use? Did they use firearms appropriate for the project? I guess that's my second question. What weapon was used? What weapon did they use? I heard from people who heard the shots that they thought that perhaps different weapons were used. Was any pain relief done? Did they use tranquilizers or sedation first?
Neither.
Officer, did they use sedation first? That's a relevant question because the CFIA, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, has a manual, believe it or not, in how to put down animals, because they have to do that from time to time. And they recommend that that any animal be treated compassionately, and either that they be tranquilized before killed or sedated. And I'm pretty sure that didn't happen. In fact, I know that didn't happen. I was also told that there was supposed to be a veterinarian on location. Let me ask that one now. I'm going to project. I'm going to use my outdoors voice. Was there a veterinarian here last night? Hey, Copper, was there a veterinarian last night? You can nod yes or no. Use your words. If not, just nod yes or no. Was a veterinarian here yesterday?
I think she shook her head.
I think one of the reasons that's relevant is because the court order by which the CFIA and the police are here required a veterinarian. And I don't think there was a veterinarian. Officers, was there any animal cruelty? Did you observe any pain that the animals were in? And the reason that's relevant is because that's against the law. We protect animals from animal cruelty in the criminal code. And just even if there was even if this was an authorized cull, that it had to be done in a painless way. And even while executing these birds, the criminal code still applies to them. You cannot go in and massacre them.
How can you?
Officer, I have a question. Why was this done at night?
Why
did this happen in the dead of night? Why did you do it at night, in the dark?
When they were supposed to be resting.
That's a good point.
That's when they rest.
But in the dark makes no sense for any public health reason, for any medical reason, other than there's two reasons I can think of to do it in the night. Number one, to hide from the light of public scrutiny. What's done in the dark will be brought to the light. That's what the good book says. They did it in the dark. Why did you do it in the dark? Hey, Copper, come out here. Come out here. Bravely come here. You know, this is very embarrassing for the RCMP, I have to say. The second reason to do it in the dark is for terror. To teach these farmers a lesson. How dare you? How dare you challenge us? I think it's a metaphor for how everything is being done here. Don't you think? From the drones overhead, to the no-fly zone overhead, to disabling the surveillance cameras. I think it's a metaphor. Why did you allow the CFIA to knock out the surveillance cameras? Coppers, I'm talking to you! Show me the respect and answer. Just nod up and down, or nod this way.
I love it.
Roll down your window, you coward! Roll down the window, you coward! Just expressing myself. If I'm arrested, those are my suspects. I understand from the family that they've actually lodged some complaints against the CFIA with the RCMP. Isn't that weird? Because the RCMP have been covering for the CFIA. But the families have presented evidence of possible crimes, including, I mentioned, the animal cruelty, to the police. How do they action them? For example, have they put an officer on have they opened a file? Have they started collecting evidence while the evidence is hot? I don't think so, because I think they're colluding with the bad guys. Let me ask, have you actioned any of the complaints? Have you treated the complaints of the family against the CFIA? Have you assigned an investigator to those complaints? I know you can hear me. Your back window is down. You're not fooling anybody. You look stupid. You look.
Now we get a reaction.
You look embarrassed to be here, and I think that's the right. I think that's the right thing.
Get a reaction.
I think you're ashamed of yourselves. I think you're ashamed of yourselves, as you should be. Here's my point. I was here a few weeks ago, and I actually had a fairly fruitful interview with an officer from Chris Clark. And then Chris Clark, that was his name. And I talked to him at some length, and he was very chatty. In fact, here's a clip from my conversation with that officer a few weeks ago.
I'm ready to burn it.
Would you agree with me that he did a pretty good job? I mean, I came in with critical questions, but I asked them in my indoor voice, and he answered in his indoor voice. And the whole interview, I think, went about 13 minutes. I thought he did a pretty good job, honestly, of dispelling some myths and rumors. These guys here, but imagine this. So here we are, the day after the largest ostrich massacre in Canadian history. It's an international incident, not just a national incident. It's the largest police deployment in British Columbia right now. The entire world wants to know what the hell went on. And now they refuse to talk to the media. So they talked to me a few weeks ago when I was here, when really nothing was cooking. I don't know, I'm glad they did. But after the massacre, after the crisis, they got nothing to say? Let me put some more of these cowards here. And I'm using my outdoors voice so they can hear me, because they rolled up the window. And I'm a little bit mad. I'm 5% mad, and I'm about 90% projecting because they rolled up their window. And I'm actually embarrassed, because if this is Canada's finest, we're not doing so well, are we? Gee whiz, I wonder why it's hard to recruit police these days, eh? If you're a young man where you say, Daddy, I want to grow up. When I grow up, I want to be a policeman. Why? You want to catch bad guys? You want to stop bank robbers? No. I want to run interference for a bunch of bureaucrats killing ostriches, Dad. That's why I want to go police school. All right, let me keep going here. Officers, I got a question for you. Who commanded the operation? Was it from here? Was it from BC? Or was this whole operation run out of Ottawa? Who's the boss? Who's the senior commander? What was his name? Was he with the RCMP? Or is the actual boss of things the food inspection bureaucrats? Who is your top boss? Do you even know? Yeah, you. Who's your boss? Who's the senior commander? Was he operating from out here in Surrey, or was he operating from Ottawa? Or was the power delegated to some health bureaucrat at the CFIA? Who told you to roll up your window, or is that just your own natural reflex? Who's the boss? Don't you think that's important to know?
We've been asking
and I think one of the reasons that's important is, was this being done by police who understand the basics about civil liberties and the criminal code, and they would know things like animal cruelty, or was the police power actually delegated to these food bureaucrats who don't know the law, who don't know policing, who don't know even the principles of Robert Peel's principles of policing? You need the support of the community, you need to be transparent, you need to be seen to be nonpartisan. Our entire police system depends on Robert Peel's principles of policing. And however much you might dislike these people here, they are at heart cops. What I think is that it was not a police-led raid. I think it was commanded by the Theresa Tams of the public health food side of things. I think bureaucrats who have never handled a gun, who have never been to the police academy, who don't know anything about the law, who don't give a damn about animal cruelty, I think they were the commanders. And I think that these cops allowed themselves to be run by the bureaucrats that I don't know the answer to that. And this is a list of questions I would have put to Chris Clark had he shown up here. Now, I spoke to a police liaison named Anthony, and I said, can you call this officer and tell him I got fair questions and I'll publish his answers unedited. He got on the phone. He said, well, he's in Syria. I said, no problem. I can do the interview by phone. No, I refuse. I refuse. Your literal job title is you are a media spokesman. This is the biggest police operation in British Columbia in 2025. You're running cover for an ostrich massacre that even has the attention of the U.S. cabinet. And today is the day you choose to be tongue-tied and mum? I do not accept that. I got a few more questions. Did the Army send a drone? I know the police had drones. We all know that. Did the Army send a drone? You can nod yes or no. Be a big boy. You can use your words or you can nod yes or no. Did the Canadian Forces supply a surveillance drone for your operation? Old man, I'm talking to you. Did the Army send a drone or not? You laughing? You're laughing? It's funny. It's funny, you coward. Roll down your window and come and answer, big boy. Come and answer, you coward. Did the Canadian Forces send a drone? Yes or no? Oh my God, what a PR disaster for these people. Unbelievable. Hey, I got a question. I mean, police have something called discretion. You know what I mean? When you're pulled over at the side of the road for speeding, that's the difference between police giving you a ticket or saying, oh, you be careful, I'll let you go with a warning this time. What's the difference between those two approaches? It's called discretion. The police can choose which way to go on that, based on their judgment, based on their assessment, based on information only they have. They can choose to let something go if they don't think it's in the public interest. That's the test. It's also the test the prosecution uses for whether or not to follow a charge, right? Is it in the public interest to proceed? Is it in the public interest for all these police to bend the knee to the Canadian Food Inspection Agency when they clearly do not have the public interest at hand, and when they evidently are committing animal cruelty? There was no veterinarian there. They were shooting the ostriches. We don't know who. They were shooting them at night. I heard, and here's the shocking part, that there was another round of shootings in the morning when the sun was up. And I think it's sort of obvious what happened is they were shooting these birds at night. And then in the morning light, they must have seen some of these birds still twitching in pain, that they had spent the night in agony because they were shot, but they were not yet killed. And so there was now another round of shootings. That's what I mean by operating in the dark. They operated in the dark not for reasons of logistics, not for reasons of safety, not for reasons other than to hide what they're doing. But that caused, apparently, birds to be in agony all night. There was no veterinarian, as was required by the court order, and they did their shooting at night. And so in the light of day, they had to properly go in and kill the birds that had only been injured all night.
Shot from the top of the band.
At what point do police say, whoa, guys, we're here to stop you from being overrun by 20 well-meaning peaceful protesters, but we can't look away. You are committing animal cruelty and breaking the law. At what point do these officers have to use their discretion and say, you know what, I'm going to stop this just while we check up on things. This is not going lawfully. At what point do these police have a moral duty? And I think that's one of the reasons why there was a police chaplain here the other day. Did you see that? Do you know what a police chaplain is? It's just what it sounds like. It's a pastor whose job is to provide the police with moral support after a moral crisis. So, for example, God forbid, a school shooting where officers see the most horrific thing imaginable. God forbid, to see children being shot. A police chaplain would deploy to give courage and hope and a way of coping with that distress. Why was the chaplain here the other day? I'm not talking about today after the massacre of the Bloods. Why was the chaplain here a few weeks ago? I think it's obvious why. Because of the morally impossible situation that these police have found themselves in. They're hated by the local community. They're being asked questions daily about why they're not stepping in and upholding the law. And I think some of these police actually have a conscience, which is why they brought in the chaplain.
That's the barn we have our eggs in. It looks like they're collecting. They're collecting all of our eggs now that they wouldn't let us pick up. All of our eggs are in that barn, and there they are in their truck. Their CFIA is in that barn right now, taking all of our eggs. Guaranteed. Do you think they're going to destroy them? What do you think they're going to do? Or do you think they're maybe going to use our science? Do you think they're going to use the antibodies out of those eggs? They already hired Lafont Medical out of Quebec to make our science. They're backing up. They're taking our eggs right now. They killed our animals. They'll take the eggs. They'll create the science, and they'll destroy life. They'll destroy a family. Destroy a family in the middle of the night. There's no coming back from this. There's no coming back. There's no coming back from this.
It's Katie Pacific, the farmer of the Ostrich Farm. I'm going to ask one last question to the cops. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to post this video and I'm going to send it to the media spokesman. Maybe he'll have some answers. I don't have a loud enough voice to holler all the way to Surrey. I offered to do the interview by phone, but I think he's been instructed not to. Last question, coppers. When are you leaving? When are you leaving? I know you can hear me. You're like a child pretending you can't hear me. When will you leave? When will you leave? Do you not know? Do you not know who your boss is? Is it the CFIA? Is it the RCMP? Who's your boss? When will you go home? No one wants you here. It's pretty obvious. Why are you here? I mean, the massacre was yesterday. Why is there probably 50 police still here?
2 days ago.
I know you can hear me because your back window is open. Why can't you answer such a simple question? Don't you see you're murdering your reputation?
Doing a fine job.
Why are you letting the Canadian Food Inspection Agency tell you how to police? And why are you obeying their insane orders? Since when do you become mall cops, hireable by any bureaucrat? When will you leave? I think it's a fair question. I mean, literally, the search warrant under which these people are here does not have an expiry. That's pretty weird, isn't it? I mean, the birds have already been killed, and I understand they've been taken away. We heard from Katie Pacific, the farmer, that they're now taking the eggs. And she suspects it's because the eggs actually have medical value. If you recall the letter from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. to our health minister in Canada, he says these birds are very special because they did get sick from avian flu, but then recovered. They have natural herd immunity now. That's very valuable medically. And Robert F. Kennedy Jr. proposed that the United States and Canada examine these birds together. In fact, in the letter, which was quite astonishing, Kennedy said even if Canada didn't want to do that, the states would do it for us. They would pay for it. Why would you not do that? So Katie's wondering that maybe the eggs are being taken for, I don't know, some other purpose. That's the thing. The questions I've asked, I don't know, about 15 questions or so. I asked them in my outside voice, and I used a few insults to try and get the cops to answer. Didn't work. But those were all legitimate public policy questions, don't you think? Who did the killing? What weapons were used? Why didn't you use tranquilizers? Was a veterinarian on site? Why did you do them at night? Did you use a drone from the Canadian Armed Forces? Why was the chaplain here? Who was commanding these forces? Was it police or was it CIA? Was it commander based here in British Columbia or was it someone in Ottawa? Why won't you use your own discretion and exercise your police knowledge rather than obeying CFIA? Do you doubt that these are genuine questions in the public interest? And do you doubt that if the cops actually answered some of these questions, do you doubt that they would dispel rumors, theories, conjecture? But I think that's what they want. In fact, let me close on this. I've seen some shocking videos over the last 48 hours where police seem to deliberately try to provoke protesters and journalists and even the neighbor. The neighbor just told me, and I hope I'm not telling tales out of school, the neighbor told me that at night they put the drone over his house and turned the lights on. What are you doing? Why are you harassing him? And the police liaison teams, who were supposed to be energy absorber sort of liaisons, as the name suggests, I saw one of them take on Chris Dacey in the most bizarre way, a provocative attempt to irritate, annoy, and here's my theory. I think the police have a new set of instructions. I think over the last 48 hours, and frankly over the last 10 months, the Canadian government and even the RCMP has absolutely been torn to ribbons in the court of public opinion. They may have won in the court of law. The Supreme Court may have declined to hear the appeal. But in the hearts and minds of Canadians and people around the world, it's been a disaster. I was in Nashville, Tennessee a week ago, and someone said, "What's up with those ostriches?" People around the world want to know. And the police have decided, do not explain, but here's a new tactic. We've got to flip it around. And there's a term in psychology that's used to deal with sexual abusers who are caught. They have a form of gaslighting that psychologists call DARVO, D-A-R-V-O. It's an acronym. It stands for deny, accuse, reverse victim and offender. So in the case of sexual offenders, no, she came on to me, I didn't come on to her, she entrapped me. It's flipping it around. It's trying to put the accuser on the back foot. It is basically a psychological term for gaslighting, to flip the script. By trying to provoke Chris Dacey, the family, the farm woman, master of the farm, the neighbor, what are they trying to do? They're trying to provoke an arrest. They're trying to provoke an incident so they can flip the moral script. So they can say, no, the problem isn't with the largest police deployment of 2025. The problem isn't the massacre of hundreds of birds that are scientifically healthy. The problem is those rabble. I believe that's what they were doing. They were trying to do a kind of switcheroo, and you know they would have help from CTV, CBC, and the rest of the regime media. I gotta tell you, I'm 53 years old, and for the first 4 decades of my life, you could call me an 11 out of 10 police supporter. 11 out of 10, every time. My faith in police started to be shaken a bit by what I saw them do during COVID. And what I see these police agreeing to do these past weeks, they've been here 6 weeks, these cops, has deeply eroded my belief in the RCMP. I know they're not all bad. I know that for a fact. But for them to preside over the shredding of the law here, for them to run cover for the Canadian Food Inspection Agency is so unacceptable that I think that the police are losing the trust of the people. I mentioned Robert Peel's Rules of Policing. Google it, read them. It's an easy read, it's a beautiful read. It explains that in a free and democratic society, the police must be with the people and the people must be with the police. And the police must be nonpartisan. People must trust the police. It's a beautiful system of policing that distinguishes itself from a police state. These police have violated Robert Peel's principles of policing. And the very fact that on the day after the massacre, they will not provide a spokesman to explain things or to answer my questions. And even though I hollered them because she rolled up her window, you can't deny that the questions I put are legitimate. I think it's a disgrace. If you want to learn more and follow the coverage of my friends, Rebel News has been here since the beginning. My friend Sidney Pizzard, who's filming this right now, my colleague Drea Humphrey, we've had other journalists here. We have been covering this since the beginning at SaveTheOstriches.com. Oh, here's a call. Hey, come back. Don't run away.
Comrade, come back here.
Don't run away.
Come back, comrade.
Don't run away. Don't run. Don't run. Run
Why
away.
was she acknowledging me, but she won't even acknowledge me?
For Rebel News.
That's kind of rude. Like, to not
I'm
even
Ezra.
like shake your head or anything. Like, at least you shake. That's what we needed. That.
Holy cow, man.
Thanks, Ezra.
Cheers.
That's Ezra for you.
You know, I use my outdoor sports way too much.
Yeah, and his job is literally media relations. Like, literally. And you have the PLT fighting him.
Interesting place.
Casey? For Universal Ostrich Farms. So, yeah. They have a...
Sign off on Mike.
Oh, yeah.
No, go
Oh,
ahead.
yeah. Hey, Daisy, Mike Rude, the Rude Awakening Tour down here somewhere.
Way
Mike
down
has been
there.
working so hard. We've all been working hard. We appreciate you. From Edgewood.
Thank you.